Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the Gilmore Girls Vlogs with Rach and George. We're on, what, episode 3?
Yeah.
Got a text. Episode 3 is called Kill Me Now. Before we get into anything else, I have to ask, did you and your mother have fights about boob size growing up?
No, never. Well, I don't think so. I'm trying to recall right now. It didn't jump into my mind when they had that argument.
No, that didn't seem thoroughly realistic to me.
No, actually I do remember once going to a bra fitting, because that's a thing.
That's a thing, yeah.
And like a woman, you take your shirt off and a woman is measuring you so that you get the right cup size and everything. And my mom tried to buy me the same size bra that she wears.
At the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my mom has very small boobs. It turns out the woman was like, oh no, her boobs are gonna be me. Her boobs are gonna be much larger. And like my mom was kind of taken aback, like, what? That was like the only time I can ever think about talking about boobs.
Boobs. Boobs. So this episode was weird. It's the first time that, well, so far anyway, I'm 3 episodes in, but the show always ends with those two, Rory and Lorelai together. This one ends with Lorelai alone.
Yeah.
Left alone. Which,
well, that was kind of the whole theme of the episode, right?
I guess.
It was Rory needs to pick a sport. That's how it happens.
Right.
And so she's like, oh, there's golf. Golf? Oh, your grandfather plays golf, so why don't you go to the club with him? And so, like, it was introducing Rory to that whole world that Lorelai was so trying to get away from.
The posh world.
That Rory could not possibly want to ever
the country club
be
golf.
in that world because Lorelai so despises it. So it's like shaking Lorelai's world that Rory could actually maybe want to do that.
Right. Which I will say, like, the whole idea of like class warfare is like interesting. Particularly because like Lorelai is such a down-to-earth, crazy kind of girl.
Yeah.
And her parents are so posh.
Yeah.
I will say 2 things on that point. One is a good thing, which is for the first time I never thought about like how did Lorelai become Lorelai with her mother. I just bought the fact, her mother's awful. Sitcom trope or TV trope. This was the first episode where I was like, I get it now, kinda. In the episode, as we explained, Rory's gonna go golfing with her granddad. And Rory's like a half hour late, and it's just the scene with the grandparents. So, grandpa, grandma. And Grandpa's like, I don't want to go, this is stupid, she's late, blah, blah, blah. And Grandma is like, no, you're going to do the thing, give her lunch, feed her well, and it seems like she's just being like the overprotective grandma who wants to win, she wants to beat her daughter and prove it. But then, there's a knock at the door, it's Rory, and you see the grandfather who's like, ugh. And there's this quick moment where I saw a flash of Lorelai where she's like, this is our granddaughter, you're going to treat her well or I'm going to kill you. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like,
you saw a flash of Lorelai?
I did, yeah, that whole thing about like, it's like, this is our daughter, and like, it felt sincere. It's like, I want there to be a relationship here. And whether, you know what I mean? It's like, that kind of fierceness that Lorelai has, that's the first time I saw it, like, for real in the mother character. Because most of the grandma stuff feels like forced comedy. I actually felt a little bit of, like, humanity there, where it's like, this is our granddaughter, and you're going to show her a good time.
I didn't catch that. I guess I saw it more as superficial because, well, they really do want a relationship. Because, I mean, if you think about it, the only time they would ever get to see Rory otherwise was at holidays.
Right.
So they're actually trying to build a relationship with her now.
And I like the fact that it's like, I guess it's about class, but it's more just about like, we have a granddaughter, we want to give her things, and we want to show her off, and we're proud of her.
Yeah.
So that's part of the class. The negative thing about the class, I have to say, is near the end of the episode, the B plot of this, like, once again, we're going to split the 2 up. So Lorelai's setting up a wedding at the inn, and Rory's off playing golf. At the end, they come together at the wedding, and they make nice after the boob conversation where they get into a fight. And Lorelai is like, look, I never considered that you might want that life that I eschewed. I've been using that word a lot lately, eschewed. Anyway, Lorelai hears from the wedding, like, I bought that dress, it's so expensive, and it cuts over, they show a little girl and her mother, and the mother is like, sit there and don't move, and you'll be a young lady. That's exactly the same shit that happened in Titanic. I hate that cliche. Right before Kate Winslet decides she wants to throw herself off the boat because her life's so terrible.
Oh, they're tying up that fucking corset?
Well, it's not that. It's, she doesn't know what she wants to do, and blah, blah, blah. And her mother's like, you have to marry this man, whether you love him or not.
Okay.
And they're at dinner in, like, the stateroom with the rich people. And she looks over and she sees this really young girl, and her mother is like, put your napkin on your lap. And the young girl with, like, no humanity left. And then this really, like, poignant / awful James Cameron zoom in on Kate Winslet's face where she's like, oh my god. And then next scene is her hauling ass down to the end of the boat. But that cliche of like, man, that child's life mirrors my own. What a cliche. But I mean, it makes sense. It's a wedding. But like, that bothered me a little bit.
I think just to give some perspective, because you don't really know anything else about their history.
Well, I mean, just the fact that like, they set it up in the pilot, which I'll buy that. Like, I don't need all the details of like, she got pregnant. and her parents wanted to force them to get married. And Lorelai makes the great point about, like, look, you're so proud of this guy that I didn't marry and how good his life is. His life wouldn't be that way if we got married. Nor would my life be my way, so, like, you know, that's good enough for me. Like, she wanted to go figure it out on her own. And I guess they're, you know, having to trying to thread that needle some more. But shit I did like in this episode was at the very beginning, it opens up with another one of the lunches or dinners at grandparents' house.
Friday night dinner.
Yeah, which I'm assuming will be a thing for a while. And they're trying to discuss what sport she's going to play. And Lorelai's like, I keep telling her to take the bait. And Grandma's like, that's not a sport. It's like, it is the way the Gilmore say it.
Yeah.
That made me happy.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Something else, too, that made me smile.
The big thing you're missing, though, like, about this episode is how Rory bonds with her grandfather.
I was getting one.
Oh.
But there was another specific line that I really liked, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh.
Anyway. But yeah, the scenes with Rory and her grandfather I really liked.
Yeah, you could tell it was really awkward to begin with, but, like, instantly they started bonding about, like, oh, Rory wants to go traveling, and here's where I want to go, and...
Yeah, and look at this pretty here, and all that stuff.
And, like, you're showing her off for what she wants to do, and her thoughts,
I like
and her
that.
books that she wants to read.
When the grandpa's showing the daughter off scene comes, it's not like he's just bragging. He's not making Rory feel like a prop.
Right.
He's legitimately bragging about the things that... In fact, like, when his country club friends are like, you want to go to Fez? He's like, yeah, she does. And that's awesome, and you're small-minded people, you know.
Yeah.
That whole part of the episode I liked. Then there's the boob
Well, no, you missed the best part of that whole thing. They were like, well, what's in Fez? And he goes, well, that's for her to find out. That was the best.
What does obsidious mean?
What does obsidious mean?
Yeah.
Use it in a sentence.
That is the most obsidious woman.
Oh, like, sour?
You think?
Like,
that's a recurring bit in this joke that I didn't get.
I thought it was a different word, not obsidious.
Odious, sorry. What does odious mean?
Sour.
Go figure. It's weird. Those are synonyms.
I don't fucking know. I'm making shit up right now.
Nice
so if you're gonna comment on this, like, I'm just talking. I don't even know.
Should we bring up the twins thing? I guess that was funny.
No, it wasn't. It was stupid.
Apparently, there's the wedding is for two twin sisters and two twin brothers. I love this show,
and I was so bored during this episode.
Not a lot happens.
This is not characteristic. There's no huge drama, like no plot lines have started.
Well, not every episode's a winner. Plus, the whole idea of like they have to restate the pilot for the first 6 episodes.
Well,
this feels like
next episode.
Right. But this episode 3, Kill Me Now, aptly titled.
Yeah.
Feels like a very much like we're gonna say it all again. Like mother and daughter, they're young. Her parents are rich. They like each other, but sometimes they don't, which leads to the dumbest fucking scene of the episode where Lorelai playing on the whole idea of like she's the mother but sometimes she's childish. Clearly she's hurt that her daughter is embracing the life that she'd rather hang out with her posh parents than with her. So they get this argument about like you're borrowing my sweater and I asked you not to do that, which I'm like, okay, that's childish but I can buy it. And then it's like you stretch them out and I didn't know where that was going.
Yeah.
And then it's literally they get into a discussion about your boobs are bigger than mine.
Yeah.
Which Lauren Graham's boobs are bigger than hers.
Yeah.
Right now.
Absolutely.
I will say, on a filmmaking standpoint, a lot of good Steadicam shots. There's a good walk and talk with Suki and Lauren Graham. Very West Wing light. Like, also, they're finally lighting their eyes, which I'd forgotten about. Alexis Bledel has these amazing blue eyes, which they pop in Sin City because that movie's black and white, except for spots of color. And this is the first time when there's that scene in Luke's diner where they're talking after the golf with the hat. Where both of them are lit, and you can, like, they have the same color eyes, and I loved it. I was like, hey, they're finally lighting those women properly.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, it's just a filmmaker thing. Like, look at them, they look the same. Mother-daughter stuff.
I'll talk plot and boys with you.
Right. Speaking of plot, so Suki's back to her old slapsticky antics a little bit.
Not that bad. That's how
that dude crashes his bike in this episode. Also, there's a grocer that's a recurring character, and I fucking know that guy from somewhere, but it's like one of those...
That's Jackson.
It's one of those obscure...
He's not a grocer. He grows vegetables.
Fine, a fruiter.
He's a farmer.
Okay. But yeah, that character, that actor I know from somewhere, but it's one of those obscure George things where it's like, I saw him in this one movie from 1987.
I can Google it for you.
That's no fun, I'll figure it out. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. There's really not a whole lot happened. It was a bunch of like...
I would have skipped this if I was watching this alone.
Which is weird because
it doesn't offer anything to the show.
I mean, beyond the fact that like we got to see more of the grandparents, like they're more well-rounded characters now. The rest of it was, there was no Lane.
I know, I love Lane.
I like Lane. I like Lane a lot. And I mean, they didn't even really forward, like, she's still going to Chilton, but, like, there wasn't more of, like, the bully subplot.
All of that stuff they built up is
like I said,
gone.
this felt like a real producer's note kind of thing, where it's like, all right, we like the first two scripts. Before you continue, let's make sure we have an audience. Do a filler episode where we can really hammer home what the point of the show is, which is mother and daughter. Although they fucked that up, too, because at the end, they're not together. Like,
maybe
so, you know,
it's foreshadowing something.
No, one of them's gonna die and then be brought back to life as a zombie for the Netflix show.
What the fuck? That was extreme.
Yeah. But yeah, like, you know, it's Netflix, so there's no commercials, but it still fades out like a TV show would. And there's a scene at the wedding where Lorelai and Rory kind of reconnect, and they apologize after the boob conversation. And there's a shot of them like leaning their heads against each other, and it's like, that shot's in the opening credits, or opening titles.
I think we've seen all of them now.
And it fades out to black, and I was like, that's gotta be the end, we're done, right? And there's a whole other like 8 minutes of nothing. Nothing. And then it ends with Lauren Graham alone on a couch. I will say that last 8 minutes had one moment that made me laugh. I like watching 90s shows, or mostly 90s, that's my era, just for the pop culture-y, like, things that are out of date, like big, you know, huge laptops or whatever.
Oh.
This one, because it's set in Connecticut, it's kind of like, it bounces, it's got this formal setting of like an inn, and a preparatory school, and, you know, country club. All that shit's kind of timeless, and, you know, when you look at New Hampshire in movies, it always kind of looks like New Hampshire all the time. There is a moment in this where they're talking about Rory, and the grandmother says, like, with the MTV and TVs with 100 channels, and I was like, whoa!
Yeah,
a whole 100 channels! Heavens! Meanwhile, now we got Netflix, and it's like all the TV!
Was this 2001?
Somewhere between 1999 and 2001. It's right in there somewhere. And now I'm like annoyed because I'm bothered that I saw this plot hole. Lorelai works at a fucking, she's like running a hotel with a kitchen that's got coffee 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Why does she go to Luke's? She can just have free coffee.
I think she runs errands during the day. Like, she'll go pick up dry cleaning, and so she'll stop there because, you know, she's obviously an addict.
Right. And it is, I mean, it's their hangout, I guess.
Yeah.
Rory and Lorelai's. Plus, he's dreamy.
Oh, Luke.
I like Luke. I hope that becomes a thing.
He's awesome.
Now I'm starting to think maybe his thing is like Suki's thing is silly pratfall stuff or whatever. I'm the funny character. I'm thinking his thing might be like stupid thing about feeling guilty. Like, he's always like, caffeine's bad for you, bacon's got triglycerides.
Did you know that?
And this time he's like, hey, golf courses are horrible for the fucking environment. And it's like, I don't.
So all the chemicals they put in to keep the grass green.
Just kiss Lauren Graham. Kiss her. Just do the thing. She did look cool. I mentioned it. I like that outfit she wore. She had like this bandana on and leather jacket, tank top. I like that look. The last thing I'll say, which I don't know if you caught this at all, or if it, even the thing that occurs to you, I've been watching the credits. Other than what's her name, the creator of the show,
Amy Sherman Palladino.
Who I don't know at all. But besides her, I'm trying to see what other writers or who else I might notice. And it's weird because as the show started, I was like, I wonder if Jen G. Cohen will pop up. Because
I saw that on there.
Jen G. Cohen also popped up in Mad About You as a staff writer. She's a producer, at least on that episode. For those who don't know, Jen G. Cohen was Weeds, and currently Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I like watching to see how people get started. It is cool because, particularly then, Hollywood is still all about dudes running things. But like, I like the fact that this was a really popular show, which I'm assuming got awards and stuff, about women written by a woman, as opposed to like what's Ally McBeal written by a guy.
Well, that makes sense.
A lot of like when you think of like women shows, and I don't mean like shows for women, I mean shows about women, still written by guys. This is very much, and it seemed fairly realistic till the boob conversation. I don't know what that was about.
I think that's pretty common with girls, but not like mom-daughter fight.
Right.
You know?
I mean, there's that. They're the same thing, like age.
16 years apart.
Right. So.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's cool that Jen G. Cohen popped up because Weeds was really good for 3 seasons.
I never watched it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're still watching Orange is the New Black. Is it still good?
I stopped watching that.
See, and
I stopped watching last season. What are we on, 3, 4?
I think 4 just premiered.
I could not make it through 3.
Which is an issue I have with Jen G. Cohen shows, but I like the fact that she started out as a producer or a staff writer and then worked her way up to being like the queen of fucking television right now, because everybody loves Orange is the New Black. So that was cool. And that outfit she wore, she looked like what's her fucking name? Mary Louise Parker, who was the lead actress from Weeds. For a split second, I was like, oh wait, that's Lauren Graham, just in a different outfit. All right, cool. So what? I don't remember the title. What's this next one? Episode 4?
I didn't catch the title.
But you know it's awesome.
I read the description that was on there, and I know what's gonna happen.
All right, cool.
We're back to Chilton.
Woo!
If that's
Bully girl and Mary. Fuck that girl. And fuck her parents for like hammering it into her, like, you need to do this thing, you know, destroy all who come before you. Go make a friend.
Yeah.
Which I'm halfway trying to figure out, like, do we want the character who's a one-note bully character because it'll be funny and ridiculous every time he shows up? Or would I rather than build that into like an actual friendship? Not sure. Rory needs a friend besides Lane, but maybe she doesn't. Lane's cool. There's one more thing. So in the opening credits, it's like every TV show, there's snippets of the episodes. We have caught most of them. There's one I noticed this time where Suki's dancing. Or not Suki, Lane is... Suki is an Asian name. That is an Asian character. It's weird. Even though Suki's a Japanese name. Anyway, Lane, there's a shot in the opening titles where Lane is dancing, I think in some bedroom, and I was like, her! The happy friend who dances a lot and isn't one of the Gilmore girls, so can therefore comment on it like an audience member? Yes.
Yes.
I want that to happen, maybe in this episode.
Maybe.
Which, I don't remember what it's called, but anyway. Episode 3, Kill Me Now. Yeah.
On to the next one.
See you next time.
Bye.
Oh shit, dog. Forgot you were there.
Willow. Willow.
Come on.
Come here.
There you go, hang out with Rach.
Nice.
Lane and Suki. That bothers me so much.
Good girl.
Ready? You take the lead on this one?
No.
No? Yeah?
I'm so tired.
Alright, me too.
I mean, we can.
It's up to you.
I don't want to introduce it.
Alright.